Hey, 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 it is an unstoppable day. Welcome to another episode of the Unstoppable Story Show, where we talk to ordinary people with unstoppable stories. I'm your host, Terrence, the Unstoppable Coach Leffridge, and thank you so much for being with us again today. Now, we are doing another collaboration with She Exists magazine, you guys. She Exists magazine, the quarterly magazine built with the mission to inspire and empower women from all over the world. And one way we do that is by helping promote some of the people that are being featured in our quarterly magazines. We've got our new issue that is going to be released on November 12th. Go to SheExistMagazine.com, SheExistMagazine.com, and you can get your special copy of the magazine that's on newsstands and online right now. And today we're going to be talking to one of the featured uh, people in the magazine, introducing you to her and letting you know that she exists. She is Dr. Puja Aggarwall. She is a board certified neurologist and epileptologist. Now, that is a big word right there. She's also a neuroscientist and a certified executive coach. She completed a 6 year BS MD program and then completed her residence at the Ohio State University in neurology and has a fellowship at Cornell New York Presbyterian Hospital, known as the Prez in their lingo. She's been practicing neurology for over 14 years. And in addition to having a leading cutting edge clinical research program about the brain. But she made a transition in 2021, as many of us did during the pandemic. We transitioned into new and exciting things. She decided she wanted to be a certified executive coach to help others learn the importance of the brain, of brain health, and how to boost your brain power. Now she coaches other professionals to change their mindset, to reflect more on life, and to make self care a priority. And she's here to talk more about that. So let's welcome to the Unstoppable Story Show today's guest, Dr. Puja Aggarwal. Hey,
Hi,
Dr. Puja, how are you?
I'm doing well. Thanks so much for having me. I really appreciate your time. I'm so excited to be here.
I am so excited to have you here. Welcome to our show. Glad you were able to take time out of your busy schedule to spend a little bit of time introducing yourself to our audience here at the Unstoppable Story Show. Now, before we get started, Pooja, I'm going to ask you to do what we normally ask each one of our guests to do. In about 30 seconds or so, tell us a little bit about you, and then we'll talk more about you being a part of this phenomenal movement called She Exists. So tell us, who is Pooja?
So, I am Puja. I am a mom of two. I am a neurologist and a neuroscientist, but I'm also a coach, an executive coach. I help female professionals with burnout to have a mindset shift, to become more self aware, to let go of perfectionism, and to learn to set boundaries and say no. And so, that is my passion right now. I myself experienced burnout years ago as a practicing physician. And once I had coaching and learned to set boundaries and say no, my life changed. I had more time for myself. And then last year during the pandemic, I saw that there was such a need for female professionals who were burnt out to learn to set boundaries and say no. So I decided to become a certified coach, and then I founded my business last
Wow, that is fascinating. You know,
year.
burnout, that's something that as a coach myself, as an accountability coach, I coach people on and how to find their balance in the life. But many people, they don't know that they're at that burnout state. So how did you know in your own life that you were at that point of burnout? And then how did you decide to take action on changing the course of your life?
So actually, this was about 6 or 7 years ago, and burnout was not a word that was really used. Right now
Right.
it's really a hot topic. It's in the media. It's everywhere. At that point, when I was working long hours, practicing and not sleeping much, not taking care of myself, I actually didn't know it was burnout. It wasn't until later. It was in hindsight that I was like, oh, well, that was actually burnout. When I was practicing, I was barely getting, a few hours of sleep, 4 to 5 hours. I
Right.
was always worrying about work. And when I came home, I had difficulty focusing on my two young kids or my husband. And it was like this pattern that just kept on going. I felt, eventually I felt resentful towards work, resentful of having to go in, and had high job dissatisfaction. I had anxiety. I had difficulty sleeping. I had more migraines, and I'm a neurologist, so migraines are a thing that I treat. So I was like, wow, I have more migraines. I had a lot more tension in my jaw, and just I was always thinking about work, even when I was at home. And
Yeah.
so it wasn't, yeah, so it wasn't until I actually was like, I can't continue like this. It was literally a year of going on like that. And, there was one day where I just came home and my 3-year-old daughter was asking me to read a book with her. And I honestly had no energy left from the day. So I actually got a little irritated and upset at her. And she was 3.
Ooh.
And I felt so horrible after that. I was like, I just can't continue like this. And so from that day on, I try to seek out what can help me. Is it a doctor? Is it a counselor? Is it a coach? And at that point, I was very naive to what a coach was. But going to the doctor didn't really help. Counselor, they kept on focusing on the past, and for me at that point, it didn't work. So it wasn't until a coach really helped me to change my mindset, helped me to learn to set boundaries, to say no, and to practice self care, is when I started to change my life. Because then I left a job that did not serve me or align with who I was. And then that's how throughout the rest of my life I continue to live. And then when I saw during the pandemic, again, that so many people, especially female professionals or working moms, who are having this difficulty with balancing home and work life, that then I decided to help other female professionals. And so now I can spend time with my kids. They're 8 and 6. Now I can have that work life balance. And so, coaching is such a powerful tool. I feel like every person deserves a life coach. And
Yeah, and we say in the coaching arena that even coaches need coaches, and that just goes to show you that everybody at some point they can't see the picture because they're part of the frame. And you shared it in your own story that it took your getting upset at your 3-year-old daughter to actually pull yourself out of that frame and see the picture that you had created for yourself. Doctors, therapists, coaches, we're all givers. So we focus more on giving to our clients, giving to our patients, but we rarely focus on giving to ourselves until we
Mhm,
get to that point of the burnout or the depression or the panic attacks that come
mhm.
along with so much being built up internally that you haven't addressed, that it just hits you all at that one point. So I am so glad that it didn't get any worse between you and your 3-year-old, that you were able to catch yourself and really take awareness of where you were at that point and put steps in to make a difference in your life. And now you're making a difference in lives of other professionals around the country, which leads us into you being inspiring enough that you caught the attention of the founder of SheExist magazine, Miss Janelle Harris. So tell us how that came to be.
Yeah, so actually, I was introduced just peripherally to Janelle from somebody, like a friend, Mona Lou Rakai. And so we had an event in September her that Mona and I planned in Orlando called I Love Me, where we're talking about putting ourselves first and our needs first before we can help others. And so, Janelle was a sponsor of that. And then that's how I became introduced to her. And so, I saw she was looking for people for her magazine. I thought, well, then we talked, and then she just said, yeah, why don't you be a part of it? And so we did an interview, and I gave her some pictures and some headshots. And then lo and behold, she said, also, you will be a part of our Times Square billboard. You will have your picture on there. And I was like, oh, wow. That's something I never thought I would ever happen, but it happened.
Shocking, right? So tell me, as we put on the screen the upcoming cover of the She Exists magazine, that's going to be featuring the phenomenal Sabrina Protic as well as Carol Bettinger. How does it feel for you to be a part of a magazine like She Exists?
I feel on top of the world, to be honest, to be a part of such a movement or a magazine that builds female empowerment, promotes self-worth for us to build it, not only financially, health-wise, and wealth, and just to have all of that is so amazing. The magazine is amazing. I bought my copy, and I feel like everybody out there listening, go out and buy your copy. It is such an amazing magazine. It talks about fashion, luxury, wealth, and health, and all aspects of being a woman and building your self-worth, both internally and externally.
Man, oh man, oh man. So, what did you talk about? Give us a snippet of what you talked about and what we can look forward to reading about in the magazine.
So yeah, so I talked about, my episode of burnout and what happened to me and how coaching helped change my life. And then I talk about, how right now what I'm doing, how I'm helping female professionals to stop people pleasing. This is such a common notion that a lot of us females have, working in the corporate world or wherever we are, that we want people please. We want people to like us and we fear rejection. So then we'll say yes to anything that people ask us to do, whether it be a colleague, a coworker, or a manager. But then you just become overwhelmed and overworked and really tired, and then you can't get anything done. And so that people pleasing is really detrimental to our own mental health and physical health. And then also, people at work don't respect you as much when you tend to do this people pleasing. And so when you stop the people pleasing, learn to set boundaries and say no, then you build your own self-respect, self-confidence, and then other people respect you more. So all of that too, stopping the people pleasing, letting go of perfectionism, all of that reduces your risk of burnout. And then again, you can focus on yourself, your self-care, and what you need. Again, you can only help others when you are fulfilled.
I love it. That's so very well said. And the wonderful thing about self care is that when you focus on self, then you create a wonderful aura for everyone else to see. Your smile becomes brighter.
Mm-hmm.
Your feelings become more pleasing. You just have an overall new awareness and image of yourself that really shines bright, and the world gets to see it, and it just has you ending up being in places that you never thought you'd find yourself being, like on the big screen in New York
Yes.
City. Who's that beautiful person right there?
That's me. And that's so weird for me to say, but that isn't me.
When you see yourself on the big screen in Times Square, what's the first thought that comes to mind after you say, "Yeah, that's me"? What comes to mind?
That you can achieve what you want in life. It can take time, it takes failures, but really you can set your mind to anything and get there. It's that patience, it's that persistence, and that consistency that can really change your life. And to be honest, for me, being a female physician, I kind of had this set notion when I went through residency and finished that I would always be a physician, and that would be the only thing I would do in life. See patients. Not that I don't love that, I still love that, and still do see patients. But you can do so much more beyond that, and coaching helped allow me to see that. That there are so many things I could do beyond that. Now I speak. Now I have my own podcast. I've been a guest on several podcasts and shows. And now I'm on a Times Square billboard. I mean, who could have said that?
Now you're not just a doctor, you're a fashion model on top of that. Wow. Well, congratulations to you on that, on being a part of this magazine. You guys, we are talking to Dr. Puja Aggarwall. She's one of the featured authors in the SheExist magazine. You guys, you still have time to join us for the release party, which is happening on November 12th in Tampa. You can go on over to SheExist magazine, SheExistMagazine.com. You can subscribe. You can start getting the quarterly magazines shipped directly to you. We're also in newsstands in Barnes and Noble and Books A Million. But if you want to have your face in the place and meet Dr. Puja in person, then go on over to SheExistMag.com and get your tickets so that you can be there live and in person on November 12th. We're going to take a quick break, and in about 30 seconds, let's introduce you to SheExist magazine.
Is your fashion, your inspiration, She Exists magazine's presence is most definitely being felt all around the globe. New York, Florida, LA, DC, Puerto Rico, and as far as Australia. The hottest in fashion, music, and entertainment. SheExistMagazine.com. Subscribe today.
Yes, yes, yes. Don't delay. Subscribe today to SheExistMagazine.com, where you'll meet ordinary people just like Dr. Puja. You'll also get to hear from me every quarter, as I am a contributing author to the magazine as well. And then you'll get more information on how you can have your face in the place for our release party coming up on November 12th. November 12th, go on over to SheExistMag.com and you will be able to be there as we unveil our new fall issue, which features the our financial coach and your financial coach, Sabrina Prodick, and our realtor extraordinaire, Carol Bettinger. So you definitely want to be there for the release party. They're going to be there. We're going to be honoring them. We're going to be doing a lot of networking, and we're just going to have a good time. So come on over. Go get your tickets right now, SheExistMag.com, and we'll see you on November 12th. As we come back to the Unstoppable Story Show, let's bring our guests back up into the conversation. Dr. Puja, welcome back to the Unstoppable Story Show. Got a couple of questions for you. So, now that you are in this magazine, you share the mission of She Exists magazine, which is to encourage and empower women and help readers build empowerment. So, how does that mission align with what you do each and every day in your practice and in your coaching?
So, again, my vision is for female empowerment. It is for self care, for mindset shifts, to let go of people pleasing and let go of perfectionism. Often society puts expectations on us as females, as moms, that we should do this or do that. And we put expectations on ourselves. But really, those expectations limit what we can do. When we make our own mold or make our own pathway is only when we will be more fulfilled. So that female empowerment is something that I live by every day, help my clients, and to, even when I'm speaking, to help the listeners know that you can do what you want. You don't have to fit society's mold. You can make your own pathway. And really, when you do that, you will be much happier in life. And this is something that I live by. I do what I want to do, and you should do what you want to do.
Those are some great responses. Now, people are going to read your magazine, and the title is She Exists. So it's predominantly going to be tailored towards women, but there are men and even young girls and children that are going to be reading this magazine. What do you hope they'll take away from reading your article?
So I actually have a young daughter. She's 8. So I always talk about, being who you are, not trying to be what somebody else wants you to be. And so I really want them to take away that you can be whatever you want in life. It takes time, takes effort, takes patience, and you will fail. That's just a part of reaching a goal. And you can learn from those failures, and then you can take that failure and make it into something bigger. And then you can reach your goal. The more you fail, the more you're going to learn, and the quicker you're going to learn. And then eventually you'll reach your goal quicker. So again, those failures are things that we can learn from. And then, really that female empowerment, women should support each other. We should network. We should try to build others up in addition to having others build us up. And so that networking and that building that self-worth up and that empowerment is such an important tool. And really starting at a young age is really important. And then not only for women, but for men. Men should support women. They should build that female empowerment. And having that support from men is really important also for women, as you are doing right here with your show and your collaboration with She Exists magazine. I mean, that's so amazing. So it should be an all-around effort.
That's a great answer. We always ask our guests of the Unstoppable Story Show this question. So I want to ask you as well. When you hear the word unstoppable and you look at everything that you've done over your life, what does that word mean to you?
That no matter what anybody says to me or what I say to myself, I'm going to do it. I will fail. I will learn from that. I will make mistakes, and that's okay. I will reach my goals no matter what it takes in life. So I will be that unstoppable person to reach my goals, and that anybody can be that unstoppable person also.
That's a great answer. I appreciate you sharing that with us. If you can do it, then hopefully people who are watching you will recognize that they can do it too. That's great. I appreciate you for answering that question. We're going to take another break, you guys, and then when we come back, we're going to close up and talk about any other current events that Pooja has going on and where you can connect with her. So before we do that, we love the connection that we have with SheExist magazine, but we also have other connections here at the Unstoppable Story Show. And one of those connections is with a group called Becoming the Best You. This organization helps people do exactly what they say in their business plan, which is help you become the best version of yourself. And one way we do that is through our Becoming the Best Speaker Academy. It's a multi-week academy where we help you become a better speaker in your personal development or in your professional endeavors as a speaker or MC. We're starting our winter class right now, and if you want to hear a little bit more about it, watch this quick commercial, and then we'll be back with the Unstoppable Stories Show. Hey, it is an unstoppable day. You know, preachers preach, teachers teach, and speakers speak. And whether I am speaking from my office doing videos like this virtually, or whether I am speaking at resorts doing retreats, whether I am speaking at family events, or whether I am speaking in front of large audiences. Speakers speak, and that's what we do. But depending on those situations, you may not have the confidence, you may not have the skills, or you may not have those necessary tools to be able to speak effectively in each one of those different arenas. Well, we've got you covered here at the Becoming the Best Speaker Academy. Yes, Becoming the Best Speaker Academy. We have an 8-week speaker course where we will help you get the tools, the tips, and the strategies to not only become a better speaker, but to learn the business of speaking so that you can be effective in all those different arenas that I just told you about. I'm blessed to be able to be a speaker. I'm blessed to be able to be an MC, but I didn't learn those skills overnight. I had to get the training. I had to get the strategies. I had to get the tools to make me a more effective speaker. And we want to share those tools with you as well. So if you are a new speaker, if you are a new author, or if you're a new entrepreneur and you're looking to add speakers into your toolkit to make you a more effective entrepreneur, speaker, or author, then we invite you to come on over to www.btbspeakers.com www.btbspeakers.com and sign up for our next course, which is starting soon. Who knows, in 8 weeks, you could become the best speaker that you were created to be. Yes. So if that's you, if you're looking to grow as a speaker in your own personal development, or if you're looking to take your business to the next level by being able to effectively share your message with the masses as a speaker, then we want you to come on and join us at the Becoming the Best Speaker Academy. Classes are starting soon. Go on over to btbspeaker.com btbspeaker.com and register right now, and we'll help you become the best speaker you can be. All right, welcome back to the Unstoppable Story Show. We are wrapping up our time with our special guest today, Dr. Puja Aggarwall, one of the featured articles in She Exists magazine that's coming onto a newsstand near you. How does that feel every time you hear that you're going to be in this magazine?
It feels amazing. Okay, so here's the difference. This is not only it's a print magazine. To be in print, magazines are just not as common in print. It's all digital. It's all on the internet. But to be
Yes.
in a print magazine and have your picture there and an article about your feature, it's just such an amazing feeling. And I really like the fact that the way Janelle makes her magazines, it is, it's such an amazing magazine. And if you're thinking about buying it, go out and buy it right now.
You know what? That's a great plug. I just happen to have the first issue right here in front of me, and yes, it is quality. And what I love about it is that most magazines, they want to hit you with the A-list actors, actresses, entertainment, but these are everyday, ordinary people. And don't get me wrong, there are going to be some entertainers and actors and actresses and celebrities in the magazine as well. So you definitely want to read about those. But we introduce you to the everyday person. We introduce you to people that you may not meet walking on the street, that you may not see on TV every day, that you may not hear about, but that you should know that they exist, like Puja exists. So that's what I love about the mission of this magazine, how we are bringing everyday, ordinary people doing amazing things and showcasing them in the She Exists magazine. So Puja, as we come to the end of the show, are there any other projects or events that you want us to know about, or you want to tell us anything about your coaching practice at Zenful Brain Official?
So I offer coaching packages to take you from being burnt out, overworked female professional to learning to prioritize yourself, practice that self-care with a mindset shift, and to learn to stop people pleasing, learn to set boundaries and say no, to reduce anxiety, overwhelm, and to have more work-life balance. And so I do that in addition to doing 90-minute power intensives where you can learn how to set boundaries and say no. And this is such an effective power intensive of 90 minutes where you can learn to set boundaries and it'll change your life.
That's amazing. You guys, you definitely need to check her out. I love the name of her brand, Zenful Brain. And you can check out the website, zenfulbrain.com. Just saying it just puts me in a state of zenfulness. Yes, yes, yes. And if you want to have that in your life, if you want to lose the burnout, if you want to get rid of the anxiety, if you want to bring that balance back into your life and get more brain power so that you can do more amazing things, then you want to connect with Dr. Puja. Her information is on the screen. You can check her out on Instagram at Zenful Brain Official. She's also got a TikTok channel, y'all. It's a Zenful Doctor. But you can go to her website and learn more about her coaching programs at zenfulbrain.com. Dr. Puja, it's been an honor to have you on our show today. Congratulations on all of your successes, including being in the latest issue of She Exists magazine. We're so glad here at the Unstoppable Story Show that you do exist, because what you do matters. And we're so glad to be able to introduce you to a larger audience and let them know that it's possible, because it was possible for you. Thank you so much for being on the show, and you are welcome to come back at any time, okay?
Thank you so much.
You are welcome. You guys, that is Dr. Puja Aggarwall here on the Unstoppable Story Show. That is a wrap. Make sure you check her out on all her links at IG, TikTok, and on her website. And make sure you go check out the magazine. Our release party is coming up November 12th. You can get your face in the place, meet Dr. Puja and myself and a couple other people in person in Tampa. Go on to SheExistMag.com. And as always, wherever you are in the world today, we want you to be a part of the Unstoppable Story Show. We want to hear your story, ordinary people doing amazing things. If you want to be a guest, reach out to us at tleffridge@unstoppablecoaching.com and tell us your unstoppable story. And who knows, you may be the next guest on the Unstoppable Story Show, where we talk to ordinary people with unstoppable stories. And in parting, wherever you are in the world today, you know what I say. Don't just make it a great day. Continue to introduce yourself to the world and make it an unstoppable day. Take care.
Is your fashion, your inspiration, your world. SheExist magazine's presence is most definitely being felt all around the globe. New York, Florida, LA, DC, Puerto Rico, and as far as Australia. The hottest in fashion, music, and entertainment. SheExistMagazine.com. Subscribe today.